What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Always Gaming with another episode of Thronebreaker. Be sure to drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel for more Thronebreaker content. But without further ado, let's get right into it.
Slayer of the Blacklands, long live the Queen!
Damn right I am. So we're going downward, and it doesn't seem like too long of a thing, but I'm assuming this is the Blackclad Castle. This is Demaven's camp, which is where we're supposed to be going. So let's do it. To all soldiers in service of Guardian Empire are hereby ordered to promptly head to Aldersburg. The defense of this castle is vital for... Yeah, alright. There ain't gonna be no defense, bruh.
The Lyrian army had grown into a great serpent. So much so that riding at the column's tail, Meve could not see its head. Footmen, cavalry, and archers stretched like a glistening snake between two horizons. Meve had come a long way indeed, and she felt proud. Suddenly, Meve heard angry cries and the clash of steel against steel, all at the column's front.
Those ranks! To the left! Man's left! Support the flank!
Meve drew her sword, spurred her horse, and galloped forward along the line of troops. Then, through the swirling battle dust, she spotted shimmering golden suns.
So the Blackclads attacked. Meve drew her sword, yet did not rush headlong into the heat of battle as she once would have. Old wounds and lasting traumas still nagged her, and besides, enough blood had already been spilled. The queen awaited the day when she could finally exchange her heavy armor for an elegant dress and her saddle for a throne. This battle will only last one round. Alright, so we want... There we go. Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Surround them!
So first and the foremost.
Catch!
Once an ally is destroyed, flee the battlefield. Okay, so this is gonna be an easy battle then. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I feel like
duty again? Oh God!
every battle after the one we just did is gonna be an easy battle. So I mean, not even worried.
New orders?
This can go now.
No.
This harvest, we'll be reaping black-clad heads.
Must be an important lesson in this. But what?
The chase is on!
101, 102, 103.
I forget. I keep forgetting that this guy. I can use this guy's ability every turn.
Retreat!
Before they kill him. Oh, I didn't use it again. See?
Cannot fear!
Let's use it first.
I smell a leak.
But yeah, I mean, I was crying a lot before about not getting a challenge
a waste of
and
time
all
for
this
one like me.
stuff, but then that last battle was just so tolling. That was exactly the challenge that I needed
Off
to
to the
shut me
front
up.
yet again.
But now, hey, look, we're back at it. 93 to 10. Or to 0. Oh, no, this is only one. All right.
There's a time to reap, a time to sow.
And that's how I do
Then retreat!
Alright, so... Oh no! Fuck my own shit up. Actually...
Quiet, or the Commissar will hear.
Mercy! Give mercy!
Mercy. Victory.
Normally disciplined, determined to an extreme, these Nilfgaardians quickly broke rank and ran.
Deserters, leaderless, your grace.
A scout reported.
Headed south they was, towards the frontier.
Chained prisoners now sat along the dusty road. Meve stopped in front of one. He was ragged and unshaven. Flies had taken an interest in his poorly bandaged hand. Spotting the Queen, he lowered his head and quivered with terror.
I know you take us for savages.
Began Meve, her gaze passing over several scraggy black-clads.
But fear not. We shan't flay you alive nor eat you for dinner. And when a truce is signed, you'll be sent home. Where I most sincerely hope you'll stay this time.
As the Queen mounted her horse, she barely concealed a grimace. Her thighs were sore and chafed, her hands raw from the reins. But she bit her lip and rode on, for the prize was now very near.
She hasn't lost her kindness, which is which is good. I mean, for the Nilfgaardians. Just gonna
The
keep
good
on
mothers
going.
guided you to victory.
Meve was listening to a scout's report when screams suddenly burst from the prisoner transport. In a moment, Meve bore witness to a truly macabre sight. The Nilfgaardian captives to whom she had recently been merciful lay dead, massacred in cold blood among the camp's tents.
That's a no-no. Who did
Seed
it?
the Queen, looking at the bloodied corpses. Those responsible for the deed, peasants from the quarry at Ravencloft, Meve had welcomed into her ranks. The harm they'd endured from Nilfgaardians wielding whips, this was what had festered in their hearts and minds. The Rivians couldn't accept that their oppressors had gone unpunished. So they took matters into their own hands, in defiance of the Queen.
There's fiends, not folk.
Cried the peasants, now armed and in uniform.
There was owed this, plain and simple.
It had been justice by a mob, and Meve knew it should not go unpunished. Yet at the last, ignoring her advisor's counsel, she left the former slaves' fate for their commanders to decide. For the Queen had grown weary of choosing between two evils, each one darker
Facts.
than the other.
I mean, I would have punished them, but I feel you, Meve. Shit gets tiring.
Meve noticed one of her scouts, a certain Corporal Larkin, halt his mount and train his gaze on the woods.
Your grace, I thought I heard something, could have sworn. A whisper, maybe, but... Nothing now. It's all gone quiet. think I might have imagined it, in fact.
Imagined.
Meve placed her hand on his shoulder.
No one has sharper senses than you. If you claim to have heard something, it's worth a closer look.
Corporal Larkin saluted, then rode past the trees. Suddenly in shadow, he keenly scanned his surroundings. Something caught his attention. He dismounted, then brushed aside ferns, exposing tracks made in the mud.
Your Majesty!
He shouted, quickly turning towards the road.
Sound the alarm! It's Scout!
An arrow whisked through the air, pierced his throat, and suddenly silenced him. Then the forest came alive with cries in the Elder tongue. Elves on the attack.
Meve cursed under her breath. Did Scoia'tael hatred know no bounds? The war had already been lost. Nilfgaard, who had supported their cause against the Northern Kingdoms, had retreated beyond the Yaruga. By attacking the Queen's army, the elves must have known there stood nothing to gain. That is, other than the heads of enemy Duohan. You know what I'm saying. This battle only lasts one round. Alright, they don't have nothing to be screwed of. I forgot to get rid of this stuff.
It's a trap! 2 arms!
Special prize. Just for you, love.
Again
All
and
good.
again and again.
Everything turns into summon a random elf from your deck. Alright. Let's take care of that real quick. Order. Damage a unit by 2. If it was already boosted, damage it by 6. Damn, dog. Alright.
Arbalista, your command. Should have listened to me, old lady. I'm a one, sir.
Should have played the Scytheman in the back.
Dwan fi humest.
Army's a waste of time for one like me.
Nice.
Let us sing the song of steel.
Yeah, these guys are babies. Order. Destroy a damaged unit. Ooh. That ain't bad.
Wanna know why I got my scar?
None shall tread on us!
Whenever a non-elf unit is destroyed, boost by 2. Alright, that's fine.
The chase is on!
Might finish him off. Yeah, we gotta finish him off right now. Nice. Keep him at 0. Yeah, they're babies. They're just
Now
babies.
we will see who is weak.
We ought to help one or the other.
Left, right, left, right.
Oh no, I should have used the leader ability. It's fine.
Have strength, my love.
Whoa, what are you doing? After 2 turns on turn start, damage adjacent units by 6. If any were destroyed, moves to the other side. Yikes. Alright, whatever. So what we're gonna do is... nothing. I mean, I don't really need them. It's fucked up to say, but it's true. Save the Arbalist.
I'll protect him, alright?
This harvest, we'll be reaping black-clad heads.
Actually, you can save them both. I always do that, and I did it twice. Wow. Alright, whatever. Ow!
Your tricks will not save you, Dwan.
Renna, stop! We surrender!
The Scoia'tael fighters stood no chance against Meve. When the sounds of battle finally ceased, the Queen, victorious, tossed aside her arrow-studded shield. She then ordered the commando's leader brought before her. She'd expected a ranter who would turn up his nose, spit in her face, and cry, "Death to all Dwan!" But the bloodied elf before her was no arrogant firebrand. He averted his gaze, and his lips gently trembled.
Youthful you look, elf. How many summers to you? 30? More?
27, my lady.
27. A wonderful age. A shame to die so young.
I beg you, Renna. For mercy, I ask. If not for me, then at the least for...
Mercy? You jest. You wait in ambush, come at us like bandits, and now you dare ask for mercy.
It was no ambush.
Don't play me for a fool. I know what I saw, and I'm no stranger to warcraft.
It's not you we wished to fight. Sverre.
Then who killed Corporal Larkin, Werebubs?
When we saw you on the high road, we fell back and hid in the wood. We wanted you to pass. Your scout's hearing very keen. He heard something, then spotted our tracks. You must understand. We had no choice.
You might have surrendered, yeah.
You know you might have surrendered.
Like Dristan's commando. Is that what you mean? They laid down their arms before an Edirnian general, who ordered them hanged. One and all. If we're to die, we prefer to die bows and swords in hand.
Why are you here? Were you to rescue Epdahi?
Rescue someone? No, Renna. We flee. The Nilfgaardians have realized they'll lose the war and have renounced us. Without their support, we stand no chance. Demavend has loosed his hounds. They hunt our units one by one. He's offered 50 gold pieces for the head of each Scoia'tael. It's the same in Temeria and Kedwen, if not worse. We wish to join with your Veth's unit, flee together as far as we could. It was our last hope.
Why do you tell me all this?
Because you listen still. You've not ordered me killed, so... you've clearly a heart. Eseth Aina Edu. I beg you. So few of us remain. All tired, all wounded. We pose no threat. Let us leave your realm. Let us flee.
Yeah, I'll hand you over to Demavend.
I don't rule these lands. I'm not queen here. It's for Demavend to judge you, not me.
Deliver us to him and you know what fate awaits us.
I do. But I know not what fate we face if I release you. Perhaps you'd leave in peace. Or perhaps another would stumble across your path and, like you did Corporal Larkin, you would have to kill them too. A risk I'm not willing to take.
So, death, for us all, is the lesser evil here?
Meve gave no reply. His eyes downcast, the elf nodded, then lifted his arms to be chained. Meve sent the Scoia'tael to Demavend. What became of them, you ask? The end of their story is not hard to surmise.
Yeah, be like that. Alright, so we're going... yeah, we're almost there.
Fresh eggs for sale!
Sausage! Cheese! Milk! exotic silks.
Berries and grains expel without a strain.
As ever, the market in Harmelan bustled with life. Though that particular day, Meve was earnestly surprised at the sight. For just months before, Nilfgaard had leveled the city. Harmelan's rebirth was now well underway. Folk hammered and sawed, and the scent of fresh mortar filled the air as the city rose from its ashes. In spite of the chaos, the mayor recognized the queen. He rushed over to greet his illustrious guest.
All this must cost a veritable fortune. Where did you get the coin, good man?
It's a loan. Altogether unbelievable. A vast sum at a very low rate, to be repaid a century down the line.
My. A banker with deep pockets and a generous spirit. Droll, I'd say, if I wasn't eager to meet him.
Nothing simpler, Your Grace. He lives in a house on the market square.
Intrigued, the queen asked to meet the mysterious financier. And who should come out to greet her, if not Mirko Vidmar? When last they'd met, Meve had helped the dwarf to raise the funds for his enterprise.
I cannot believe my eyes. My royal benefactor. Oh, didn't just stand there. Come in.
The bank was a frantic flurry of activity. Papers rustled, coins clinked, and stamps slammed the countertops.
You gave the city a loan, I heard. Preferential, to say the least. An entire century to repay it.
What's the rush? Fact is, I enjoy seeing them work. The progress they make, it's mental. Every last one of them builds what he wants. In Mahakam, we'd spend a year debating whether to pound a nail 9 times or 10.
The Queen and Mirko shared a sumptuous dinner. They toasted his success, and she set off once more. The following morning, the quartermaster approached. A vexed grin on his face, he reported the news.
I mean, not that I can really
Soldiers
spend it or
had found
anything.
a chest in one of the wagons. When opened, it proved to be brimming with gold. None could say for certain whence it had come, but Meve had her suspicions.
Yeah, that was real nice of him. Alright, so finally here. They're firing into that has to be the black clad. This is the war fort. Alright. Cool.
The Lyrian corps neared Aldersburg, and it could not have been on a more idyllic day. The sun shone, birds sang, trees rustled in a light breeze. But Meve saw it as she had at the war's start. Walls illumined by a fire's glow, the cries of fleeing civilians, the stench of burning flesh. As on that day, Aldersburg was under siege. At this time, Eden's flags fluttered in the field, while Nilfgaard's tattered sons crowned the fort's towers. The Queen found Demoven's tent without difficulty. Made of sheets of silk edged with silver thread, it positively shone.
Seems the realm's restored to a virtuous path,
muttered Meve.
Aha! There she is! Queen Meve, savior of the North, the Sun Slayer.
Mockery I don't appreciate.
I wouldn't dare. Not my words, those. You've been painted thus in song. Master Dandelion himself wrote a ballad, The Battle for the Bridge. If you take the bard at his word, you're as fierce with a blade as any witcher.
Is that jealousy I hear?
To be perfectly honest, Meve, it is. For I hadn't the pluck, nor resolve. And when all the North tucked tail, went to shite, you alone stepped up and bared your fangs. Let it be a lesson for the future to us all.
Oh, they're different colors, right? So that means I get to pick both? I mean, not all the time, I will. For the future, what are you on about?
A lesson for the future? What do you mean?
My dear, this war won't change a bloody thing, you know. Nilfgaard will be Nilfgaard, the North the North. We'll sign a truce, the Blackclads will turn tail towards home. But the old borders don't satisfy a soul.
I'm perfectly satisfied with them, thank you. And I just wish other folk would respect them too.
You're one hell of a warrior, but you're no strategist at all. Your perspective, you've got to broaden it. Nilfgaard, we cannot allow it to regain strength and spirit, else we'll face another invasion within a decade or two. Measures are required. Preventive, preemptive, whatever the learned call it. Build an army, a vast one. Wait in ambush. And when they least expect it, break their bloody spine. Just think, if we were to join forces...
Enough. I don't wish to hear it. Won't even entertain the thought. I'll help you take Aldersburg, but then I'll go home, where, God's willing, I'll live to a ripe old age.
As you wish. We can mount the assault at any time, but...
But?
My scouts report a small Nilfgaardian force approaching from the south. They've stayed off the roads, moved only under the cover of night, escorting someone.
Who?
I've no notion. Could be a mage. Devilishly unpredictable, that lot. Could wreak havoc in our ranks. Either way, before we rush at the walls, we must make certain they don't reach Aldersburg at all.
I shall see to it.
Are you sure? You've just arrived. Must be weary after the long journey.
An understatement if I ever heard one. But I wish all this to be over, quickly.
Meve set out after the Nilfgaardians immediately, a cavalry escort in tow. Her unmatched scouts, who had led the army through the mountains of Mahakam and Angren swamps, quickly found the enemy's trail.
This way, Your Grace. It's not far now.
That very same day, Meve's force caught up to the mysterious black-clad unit. Lyrian riders surrounded the foe, forcing the Nilfgaardians to halt. All fell so quiet, the creaking of taut Lyrian bowstrings could be discerned.
The common tongue. Which of you knows it?
I do, Your Majesty.
You also know who you deal with, I see. What is your name?
Kaldvin, Your Majesty.
At last. A Nilfgaardian name I can pronounce. So, Kaldwin. It seems this war will reach its end in 2 days' time at the most.
Where's Reynard? Why is he in...
'Twould be silly to die today, wouldn't you agree?
It would, milady.
Precisely. I've spilled enough blood. I've lost the appetite for more. So, provided you don't give me a good reason to kill you, you'll walk away with your lives. Now tell me. You carry something for General Ebdahi. What is it?
A letter.
Nah, just give me the letter. From whom, if I may?
Urgent to the point of insanity, it must be. Who wrote it? The dear Madam Ebdahi?
No, Your Majesty. The Emperor.
My. A letter from Emir himself. You must be an important person. A noble, or... Yet your uniform is simple, with no discernible distinctions. Who are you truly, Kaldwin? A spy?
A simple messenger, Your Majesty.
Don't lie. I know messengers, how they travel. Alone, armorless, atop a swift steed. You're escorted by cavalry of the heavy sort.
For I often carry orders the recipients don't wish to perform, thus the escort.
Give me the letter.
I've sworn to deliver it to General Ebdahi, or to die in the quest to do so.
Oh, very well. My translator shall read this letter, then return it to you. You shall break no vow, and who knows? You might even survive.
And if I refuse?
Guess.
So be it. I accept your offer.
Meve's translator cracked the seal and read. And as he read, his eyes grew wide as saucers. Then he whispered in the Queen's ear.
Truly. And you're certain you're not mistaken. The wonders of this world. Kaldwin, consider this your lucky day. I allow you to complete your mission, with one proviso.
And that is?
That when you hand him the letter, you will give the General my regards.
As Caldwin and escort set off towards Aldersburg, the Lyrian soldiers looked at their queen with disbelief. To leave a Nilfgaardian to fulfill a secretive task. Meve failed to stifle a rather mean laugh. They'll understand tomorrow, she thought. General Epdahi had prefaced Lyria's and Rivia's invasion with a series of arrogant demands. The Nilfgaardian had been impudent, as he had felt sure he'd achieve a quick and decisive victory. Yet several months on, he too received an ultimatum. One signed by Emperor Emir var Emreis himself. The missive was concise and left no room for interpretation. With General Epdahi dead, the Nilfgaardian army descended into chaos. The kings of the north, united, took advantage and struck at the foe. Their victory was complete. The Nordling forces cheered their commanders and monarchs, but for none so vehemently as the one queen among them. Many dream of achieving the impossible. Meve had done it. Through wit, determination, and boldness, she had thwarted the Nilfgaardian invasion. The queen would rule for many more years. Stern, yet ever just.
Ah! So a lass saved the North from the Blackclads?
That is one way to put it.
Well, I'll be damned. And a chap. She find herself what in the end?
Leave it be. Bloke's been spinning the tale all night. Story's done. Time we got some shut-eye.
Yes. Particularly as we've yet a long road before us.
Phew.
Was I supposed to know who that was?
Must be pastures old leather after all that. Except, I'm itching to know what happened to the lot of them. Reynard, Gascon.
Ah, very well. Whom shall we start with? Willem? A pawn, a tool in others' hands. Most, if not all, had seen him thus. Yet in the end, he proved his worth soundly. Though he'd started the war a traitor, he perished in the fray a hero, and would be remembered as such. Having settled in Rivia, Gascon embarked on a life worthy of his new title. In doublet and ruff, he looked to his ample fields and livestock in daytime, attended banquets and feasts come the eve. And then one night, he grabbed his bow and quiver, saddled his favorite mount, and disappeared without a trace. As news of the Nordling victory filtered south, Nilfgaard's inhabitants greeted it with disbelief. Returning Imperial soldiers told stories of Lyria's cruel queen, who murdered prisoners and sullied sacred laws. They referred to her as Gvaeldet, the bloodthirsty one. Once the Scoia'tael had withdrawn from the northern realms, non-rebel elves and dwarves emerged from the woods. Though they returned to their homes in human communities, they lived in fear of their neighbors, aware that the next massacre would eventually come. And Meve? As I said, she ruled with an iron hand, not fist. Ever alone, ever strong, dousing dissent with commanding gestures. She was beloved, I've no doubt. Yet her subjects always breathed easier when her gaze moved on from them to someone else. And now, if you'd allow me...
Course. Leave him be, lads. Let him get some rest. Till the time comes for the next tale.
Wow. Very good game. Very good game. I am satisfied. I'm probably going to play it again on my own. With the difficulty up from the beginning, from the very beginning, which is not going to make a difference because I changed the difficulty pretty early on. But I'm going to do it again, and I'm going to make all the opposite decisions that I made and see if that changes the story any. But really good game. Glad to have played it with you guys. And I guess I will see you guys on the next series, whatever that may be. Not sure yet, but trust me, when I know, you'll know. I'll be putting them up real quick. So yeah, drop a like on the video if you liked it, dislike it if not, and subscribe to the channel for more content and games daily. I will catch you guys on the next video. Later.